Hi, this is Cecilia from Tarot by Cecilia, and this is your weekly tarot guidance for the week of December the 12th through the 18th of 2016. This week, we have a full moon in Gemini. It's another super moon. It's our last full moon of the year. It's going to be an interesting week. We had some things going on that were leading up to the full moon, which there's a nice energy shift coming in. I think you'll feel better after the full moon is over. So let's just talk about what we have here, shall we? Because the cards that are here today, they're indicative of that feeling that was looming from last week with Saturn conjunct the sun. Kind of like that bringing you down a little bit. But you know what? You're getting back up. You have the clarity you need, and it's also that it's not the drive for action, it's that mental clarity that really, wants to take you toward the future, toward brighter things. I'm really liking this for you. There is a little bit of a timeout that comes up this week, which is fine. I think everyone needs one. That's been one of the things, and this may even be, that where you need it right around that full moon time. Because after that Saturn Sun conjunction, you're going to see that you are a little tired. Maybe you need to take it a little bit slower. And once the moon passes and you're more invigorated, there you go. You're ready to get back on track and see what it is you need to do to prepare for your future. There's also, and it's a funny time of year to be doing it, but it's kind of like having forethought. You know how when the new year comes and everybody makes resolutions and what they want to do, it's not so much that you want to make resolutions, but there might be things that have been nagging at you, like maybe the holiday season is highlighting them and you're like, yeah, I got to lose 10 pounds, that kind of thing. Like these thoughts are on your mind. But, it's also difficult to break those habits at this time. So you might be giving it some thought, but at the same time, just enjoy the positivity that is around. Some of it's due to the season. Some of it's just due to the passing of the full moon and that feeling of energy that's lifting. And it really is a positive, uplifting feeling that's coming. Now, everyone out there has something that has escaped them. No matter how much good you've done, no matter how much you've accomplished, it's like, boy, that when you wish for things, it's not about getting your wish. This is about what would you wish for, that like when you wish upon a star type of thing, and you're laying there at night and you're thinking about it, like, I have this, and this, but I feel cheated here. And, asking yourself, how long do I have to be patient? And part of it's love. For some of you, there's more that you're looking for in life. And it's not about material things. It's about things that you love, people that you love, or wanting love, that type of thing. Knowing that it's out there, all right? Knowing that it's out there and it can possibly come your way. And I have a feeling for many of you, you're going to find that that is on the agenda of the universe in the coming year. As you're cleaning up, most of you have done like the cleanup for the past, whatever it was you needed to do. And now you're working on like that building from the ground up and stabilizing for the future. So, my feeling on this is that the universe wants to see you on your own 2 feet so that when it comes time to choose, because this is about choices here, that you choose the right love and one that will work for you in the new life that you're going to be living. There's also a lot of change around this week. Full moons, they bring with them, and not so much what they bring with them, but what is released, what is let go of. And it may not be you that's letting go. It may be someone else. Remember this, whenever you don't see the things you're hoping for happening in your life, there's a couple things here. Maybe you're hoping for the wrong things, and maybe you need to be looking around at what's going on with everyone else, because other situations impact your life. I cannot emphasize this enough to people, that it isn't all about you, okay? who you are and who you become has a lot of bearing on who's around you and who may be coming your way. So, being more aware of those things definitely helps you navigate better on your journey so that you understand instead of sitting there waiting for one particular thing to happen and wondering why it's not. Perhaps your knight in shining armor or your, pretty perfect princess out there is busy trying to figure out their own life. Okay. And when you're aware of that and you allow yourself to go forward with your life and get your things straight, when the timing is right, the universe brings that person across your path. And that's what you need to be an understanding of. This is not a, let's sit around and wait for what we want. It doesn't happen that way. It will come when it's meant to come, and it will be there. But in the meantime, the sense that I've been getting from all of this with this transitional phase that you've started into is that kind of like between now and June, the universe is saying, okay, here's your chance. It's like going on a scavenger hunt or a supermarket shopping spree, and you get everything you can together for the trip, for the next leg of your journey. And what can you find? So then when you get to June and look at all the goodies that you have, you're embarking on this new part, okay? This is the transitional part between the old and the new. And that may sound a little weird because a lot of it is new, but at some point you get past the transition and you enter into a life of which you could have only dreamed. So, let that sink in for a little bit, all right? It doesn't mean you wait until June to meet someone. Oh, no. Things are happening way before then. So there's a lot that's going on here. You may see some of it creeping in this week, but it shows me that a lot of it is definitely in your thoughts. And there needs to be some reflection on the whole choice thing, who you choose, what you choose, how you choose, all of that. But what you're working on right now is, that moving on and moving forward. You're definitely getting into new territory. Each week, it changes more. You have to be, open to it, to see it. I realize some of you are not seeing it, and I'm trying to figure out how and when to have this conversation with you to make it more understandable. But many of you are putting yourself in this. It's not a defensive position, all right? It's about being able to stand your ground. In other words, you've made progress and you don't want to lose ground. So, with your goals and your changes, and you keep on moving. We've been talking about that going forward rather than how many months of this year were spent trying to go forward and then taking 2 steps backward. That should not be happening anymore. There should be some sort of movement, even if it's a little bit here and a little bit there. And yes, when we get into next week's weekly, Mercury will be retrograding. So you are already feeling the effects of that this week. It's getting a lot stronger. And you might be seeing some items in your life up for review. But part of it is about people. They're going to start coming in, okay? Whether they're from your past or whatever. And you're going to need to review that. That may be why you're not sleeping at night. Like, oh my goodness, so-and-so contacted me. What do I do? I say nothing for now, okay? Treat it for what it is. Be polite, whatever. Don't try to make anything of it. It's not the right time, okay? Even if this person is the one that you think is the love of your life, now is not the right time. But know that these things can crop up this week. So there's also a reason this week to celebrate, whether it's a holiday party, whatever you're doing, or just a feel-good energy that comes in because something good happens. And it's with the change, okay? You got to really pay attention to, that fire change that's around because it is there. Now, that solid base that you need and, the implosion that you've been through, this is it. There's things are starting to move. I'm really, really hoping that you're realizing this, okay? Because this is important right here. There's a lot of energy available to you this week, probably as a result of the full moon that is allowing you to turn your back on some things. And this is in such a good way. You know, it's emotional, it's mental, and it's the timing is perfect. Absolutely perfect. A lot of karma associated with it. I think it aids you in your stability. Okay. Any projects that you're working on. When I say projects, that doesn't have to be like where you work or anything like that. It could be anything that you're doing. It could be something personal or even within the family, the home, whatever it is you're doing. But to you, it may feel like a project because it's something you've been working on. It, look it over. Like I said, Mercury retrogrades at the beginning of next week. This is all about doing the job, doing it right, not letting anything distract you from your goal, and being extremely meticulous. And I have a feeling it has to do more with things that bring emotional fulfillment, like around the home or whatever. There's something going on. And, it could be at your job. Perhaps you do get emotional fulfillment through that, but it seems more personal to me that there's something here that really needs your undivided attention. But it's like when you fix it or you do it, and then you reap the benefit of it by getting to enjoy the comfort that it provides you, whatever that is, if that makes sense. It is it's a good moment for you. It's just that, taking time out to chill a little bit and relax. That this is a busy week, but it's also one that allows you the time to be you. I like that. I think that you're starting to feel, I'm going to say, more grounded, with things that have been happening, and you don't feel like every single thing that comes along and demands your attention is a battle. Because what I don't see here this week is all of the stress. Okay? In some way, in some sense, you are beginning to feel better about some things. Maybe not everything, but it definitely is improving. And that's what's important here. Oh, wow, look at this. This is just, this is a good week. Remember last week in the dailies, it was talking about, you might be feeling bad, feeling down, feeling tired from that Saturn-Sun conjunction. But you're coming back to life this week. You really, truly are. You're knowing what is worth holding on to. Okay? And that's good. And I'll tell you what, there's something different about this Mercury retrograde that's coming up. I don't think it can really keep you down. It might slow you down, but I don't think it can keep you down. I think your creativity is very heightened right now for some reason, and there is just no end to what you can do. And a lot of you, and this is good, you're working on, creating that stability, financial stability that may have escaped you in recent years. And you're probably saying, Cecilia, you're crazy. It's the holidays. It's costing me more money. Maybe some of you, but that's up to you if you're spending the money. All right? Because it's showing me here that you can dispense it carefully and do a little bit, generosity wise. It doesn't necessarily need to be that you go around giving it all away. It's more about being careful with it. And I'm just seeing very creative with finances. There's some big decisions, all right? Especially around this moon. I've been saying that, like, I don't know what it is because it brings in something different for each person. Almost feel like it's an event, whether you see the event this week or the following week. I've been feeling like it's between the full moon and the new moon, and something is going on. And it just really is, it's different, and it's hard to say. There is a renewal here. I don't know what that means, all right? You I think will be wondering. Let's say we were talking, okay, let's put up an example here. We were talking about Mercury retrograde. It's almost here. All right, you're really close and you're going to be feeling it. And you hear from people that you haven't heard from in forever. And you might have thought you'd never hear from them again. Some of you. Others you might hear from someone from the past. But I'm telling you, there's a renewal there. It's an emotional renewal. And it would serve you well, okay, to look this over carefully. Like, don't be blindsided by, the fact that you're looking for love and someone, gets in touch with you, because I'm not so sure. I think this person can, if you let them, get in the way of the new identity that you're working on creating. Now, that may sound wrong, but it's not that the person is wrong. Only you know if they're right or wrong. If you're just hanging on to something that you know is wrong, well then, we got to talk. But this is different. I have been saying that the timing isn't quite right yet. All right? This is not when you would want to begin a relationship with someone. So hold off. Like I said, be nice. Okay? Be nice. But I see you here like really thinking about it, like, what are you up to? Why are you here? So whether it's a person, it's a situation, there's something that's coming in. I'm telling you, there's a lot of thinking going on this week. Whatever it's about, and you're wondering. You may be wondering what someone's motives are and what they're thinking and, what they're up to. So, the best advice I have for when you're unsure of things is to do nothing. Someone contacts you, like I said, be nice. I mean, totally ignoring them or being rude isn't the right thing to do unless they were deserving of just that. This isn't really showing up that way, okay? But it is showing me that your mind is just like working overtime this week, okay? Not an easy thing. So this is a very energy-packed week. And it's like I said, it's going to have you thinking. It's going to have you moving on from something. But you might need to call on that thing called intuition. That's why I think some things, and you're going to realize as they happen, that maybe you shouldn't act on them just yet. All right? The desire for action is there. And it's a struggle not to act. But there's a reason. It's kind of like, if something was stalled and then all of a sudden it's like, here you go. It kind of leaves you wondering, doesn't it? So, what's here is about not acting in haste and knowing that there is time to work some things out. It's a little tricky to explain because everybody has a different situation, but I see you pondering quite a few things and trying to figure out not just the where do you go from here, but the things that crop up. So, maybe Mercury retrograde does slow you down. Kind of like going through one of those, what do you call them? Like the shooting galleries they use for the people when they're training them, for maybe not for the army, but for something else. And you have to decide who's the good people and who's the bad people. Yeah, it's like something like that. So you're going through the week and, things are coming up on your radar. And this is what the universe is saying. Slow down and assess it. All right? Granted, if it was a real life situation and you're talking good guys and bad guys, you could get hurt. But in real life, when you just have situations popping up, you can get hurt when you act too fast. So I have been saying this since sometime around September, October. Is that like when you hit this transitional phase, which you're in, you need to take your time. And you will realize later, in hindsight, just how powerful that sentence is. Take your time. Because it's going to put you in a place that you could have bypassed if you went too quickly. And when the timing is right It's all just going to fall into place, and you're going to be totally amazed. But you're seeing so many inklings now of what is to come. And it can't help but be exciting. But at the same time, you need to know that this is not the moment to act on it. Just kind of go with it. And I think that's enough for now. I want to thank you all for listening, and I'll see you here again next week. Take care.